Welcome to CUWFalcons.com. I'm joined here today by women's basketball head coach Stacey Brunner-Jones to give an update on the season so far. Coach, you're 10-3, lost on Saturday, but prior to that had a 6-game winning streak. How has the season been going so far for your team?
A lot of ups and downs, which I anticipated definitely with a young team. And being 10-2 before Saturday, we were, happy with the record, but so much to work on with a young team, especially with young guards. We're just so inexperienced, and there's so much teaching to be done, and so that's a good thing. But happy with, I guess, our record at this point, but definitely excited to keep growing as a team.
You mentioned a young team. I notice a lot of times when the opponent's shooting free throws or during timeouts, you do a lot of teaching points. I've noticed that sometimes, or this is a teaching moment. Is that just part of it with all these freshmen trying to get them to understand certain aspects of the game and what to do, what not to do?
Definitely. And sometimes I forget that they're freshmen, and, you have to tell them everything. You have to help them through everything. And my alumni have just been awesome. They come to a lot of games, and Anna Butler after a game said, "Coach, remember when I was a freshman?" And then it kind of makes me think like, oh yeah, Anna, you weren't very good. And, it makes me realize how young they are. I mean, over half of our team are 18 years old. And so they're going to need a lot of guidance. And our captains, Taylor DeLong, Megan Coonan, and Maddie Landgraf, are doing a good job, but they're juniors and a sophomore. And without seniors, it's I don't want to say difficult, it's just harder than it has been in the past with senior leadership.
Being 10-3, you have so many 18-year-olds, freshmen on this team. The future has to look very strong because you're 10-3 now. They're playing so well, but yet they're still learning. Do you sit back and you try to look at that sometimes and realize that we are good right now, but yet we're still learning?
Well, I don't think we're playing so well, and I don't think we're good at this point. We're doing okay. I don't really think about the future. People say that, well, without seniors, future looks bright, but we're worried about the next practice and then the next game. And I think getting our team to realize that too, how important the next practice is and the next game is what we're worried about. The future, obviously, when you don't have seniors and you have some good, talented freshmen, that's obvious. But as a coaching staff, we're just worried about the now.
We can't not talk about your freshmen without mentioning Brianna Wagner and Audrey Sharmer. Your two forwards are really outstanding right now, especially Brianna as of late. She had a 20-point, 16-rebound game recently. Talk about those two and how they're performing inside for you.
Well, it's nice. We have a 4-post rotation with those two and then Megs and Taylor, and that's nice to have. And it's something we talk about, though, because when those freshmen came in, they're used to playing the entire high school game. And now some of them are getting 16, 20 minutes, and it's a nice rotation, but we had to talk about it. I think it's really nice because Dre and Tay are bangers, and then Megs is a little bit in between, and obviously Bree is a finesse post player. But Audrey and Bree have a lot of potential. They're doing what they should be doing as freshmen. They're talented, but they can be very, very good in the future. So we're obviously excited about that. I think Bria took her a little bit longer because she's not as physical and as strong as Audrey was. So Audrey was already a little bit built more for the college game. But Bria is definitely coming into her own, and it's fun to see, and it's definitely fun to coach her.
Being so young, you can see the leadership of Maddie Landgraf and Megan Coonan, still juniors, but they were kind of thrust into this captain's role, this leadership role. How are they doing in handling that with so much pressure and all these freshmen looking up to them?
It was a struggle for them in the beginning. I mean, we brought in 16 freshmen, and they were just like, what do we do with these kids? But it's definitely gotten much better, and the team respects Maddie and Megs a lot. And when the team votes on captains, and before the captains I meet with them and I say, well, you're presented as captains. Do you want to accept it? And I talk about what's expected as a captain in our program, and they were excited about it. But it's also hard when you're a junior because you don't have that experience as a senior does. But they're doing a great job, and Maddie's definitely more vocal than Megs, but Megs is finding her voice, and Taylor is just really close with the freshmen, obviously in age, and doing a good job as well. So I'm very happy with our captains and how they're leading.
Finally, looking ahead, you host Dominican, and then you go on the road for a couple, one of those being Wisconsin Lutheran before you host them, back-to-back games, and then your favorite CIT tournament. Talk about the schedule coming up and the importance of keeping your team focused with so many games jam-packed here in the rest of January.
Definitely. We talked about January being the toughest and most exciting month. We are in winterim, so we get some extra time to do some individual workouts and get more shots up than we normally do. But they're the most games. I mean, it's packed, like you said. And so it's important for our team to take one practice at a time, one game at a time. And you know that, I mean, that's what we preach all the time. So it's just getting them to understand our culture and what we do. But we're excited. It's fun to be playing in January and still improving. I think Saturday was a big setback, but I think with a young team, it's okay if we learn from it. And we're excited to just take every game and try to improve and try to win every game, and we're excited.
I can imagine as a coach this winterim aspect, or some don't have class. You can get them to just focus on basketball and improve mid-season, kind of like training camp a little bit.
You can try to get them to focus on, again, they're 18 years old. So the other day, I think it was Karina Toronto, I asked her when she got up, and she said she got up at 11 o'clock, and I just smiled thinking the life of a college kid. And so they're just so young, they need to just to be guided on what they need to be focused on, but definitely sleep and eating is part of their routine for sure.
All right, Coach, good luck the rest of the way. Stay tuned to CUWFalcons.com for updates on the women's basketball team as their season progresses.